Yo, what's good, Good413 here back in the day, and today, guys, Forza has released the first 167 cars for Forza Motorsport 7, and we are getting 10 new cars to the Xbox One console. Now, there are some cars that are new to Forza itself, and then there are some that are just new to the Xbox One, and hopefully, I think I know which ones were in some of the older games. I'm not entirely sure. If you guys actually have any more information, feel free to leave a comment down below, letting me know, as it is greatly appreciated. But I also want to say this. In that last leak video that I did, there were some people who said, you know, hey, I just want the leaks. Can you just, you know, maybe go a little bit faster? Well, no. What I'm going to do, though, for you guys, I'm going to go ahead and post all of the cars that were released into the comment section and into the description. That way you guys can go ahead and check those out for those of you who actually just want to know what new cars are coming. Now, on top of it, I'm going to put the first, like, all the cars that are new to the game. I'm going to put those ones up on the very top. That way you guys can, nice and easy, and you guys don't have to worry about maybe necessarily sitting through the entire video. But the entire video is going to go a little bit more in depth, where I'm going to sort of go over what I feel about each car, some specs or some information about each car. So anyway, though, let's go ahead and hop on into it. So first up, we have the 1960 Aston Martin DB4 Zagato, which is honestly such a beautiful, fantastic looking car. I mean, look at it, guys. This is such a gorgeous car. And I mean, only 20 of these were ever actually produced. Now, the original plan was to have 25, but unfortunately at the time there wasn't enough demand for the car, so they actually stopped producing them at only 20. This car was a lighter and faster version of the Aston Martin DB4, which just, I mean, it was already a great car for the time. So sort of imagine it like this, like, I don't know, like a Mercedes AMG of the day. That's how I can best describe it. Or, you know, one of like the, I don't know, Aston Martin GT spec cars. I guess that's probably the best way. Or, I mean, there is also the V12 Zagato, which is a pretty damn good car in and of itself. Now, one of the cool things about this car is actually for a lot of people who like the DB4 Zagato, but of course can't find one because only 20 of them were actually made, you can buy a regular DB4, and there is an unauthorized aftermarket to actually get them converted into DB4 GT Zagatos, which I think that's actually really cool, and I do really appreciate that, and hope that Aston Martin never decides, hey, we don't actually want this going on, we want our car to stay rare. Because I know that there have been some car companies in the past that have just been like, no, you can't do that, that's stupid, and I'm going to sue you for it. Because I think Mercedes actually did that with the Gullwing. So, I mean, I remember reading a story many years ago about someone's Gullwing getting destroyed because Mercedes didn't like just a replica. So, I'm not entirely sure on that, and maybe I'm having like some kind of weird moment where I'm remembering a story that's actually not true. I don't know. I just remember hearing that story a couple years back, so I'm not entirely sure. But then next up we have the 1967 Ferrari number 24 Ferrari Spa 330 P4. Now this car is basically just a regular P4, but has the number 24 on the side and has a little bit of a nice livery. Now, what's kind of cool about the Ferrari 330 P4s is that they were actually originally made, oh my god, we're over the arches, oh my god, oh, that was actually pretty awesome. But as I was saying, the 330 P4 was made to replace the Ferrari 330 P3s. And the 330 P4 actually stunned so many people when Ferrari actually came first, second, and third at the 24 Hours of Daytona using 2 P4s. And I think the other one was, there was another Ferrari, but it wasn't actually a P4, but it was still one of their race cars. So that was actually a really, really good time for Ferrari. They were absolutely blowing it up. I mean, it was just crazy, crazy awesome. So, but anyway, though, the next car that we have is the 1987 Porsche number 17 Porsche Dunlop 962C, which kind of is sort of a cop-out new car because honestly we already have this car in the game, but the thing is though is that this is just a different livery. Literally, that is all it is. It even has the same number. It's the Porsche number 17, but this one is the Dunlop version. So I mean, kind of a little bit of a cop-out. but not really going to go into too much detail with this car since, I mean, we already have it. It's already been in Forza Motorsport 6, so not too big of a deal to be hitting on right now. So next up what we have is we have the... Oh my god, guys, that was a terrible driving. Terrible driving. But we have the 1989 Ferrari F40 Competizione. Is just a shit of the making turn to the Xbox One here, as it was originally on some Forzas. I am so glad to see this car back, as it is just an absolutely stunning looking car. I mean, it looks pretty much exactly like the regular Ferrari F40, but that's beside the point. Now, a cool fun fact about this car is that it was actually originally a Le Mans car. So the first two people that actually bought them actually had made them into Le Mans racers and had raced them at Le Mans at the 24 hours. So I don't know how exactly they placed, but I thought they were raced. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. But then as well, one other thing about the Ferrari F40 Competizione is that only 10 of them were made, and only 2 of them were actually made into Le Mans racers, as the rest of the people just used them as road-going Ferraris. So, I mean, it's kind of a cool fact, I guess, but nothing really too special. I mean, what am I? This car is uber special. I love this car. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, it's going to be kind of interesting, especially if you did watch the leaks video, as the next car that we're getting the 1993 Porsche 928 GTS. Now, if you guys remember in the leaks video, this car's audio files have been found in Forza Horizon 3. So the question is, are we getting this car in Forza Horizon 3 as well? Or are they going to just, you know, maybe finish up making the 928 and then put it in a DLC pack for this game and then release it fully in Forza Motorsport 7? I'm not exactly sure, but I think that is really kind of turns. Oh, I mean, it's putting a lot more of the leaks, although not Forza Horizon 3, but Forza Motorsport 7. And again, you know, I'm going to sort of retell the story about Jeremy Clarkson just sort of real quick. If you guys didn't watch that video, or maybe you haven't remember this episode of Top Gear, one of Jeremy Clarkson's favorite cars is the Porsche 928. And then the reason behind this is because when he was actually test driving the Porsche 928, apparently his father was in the hospital on his deathbed, and when Jeremy Clarkson had got the news, he had food in the oven and all that sort of stuff, and he was, you know, going to take it to his mom, who was also in the hospital. And I mean, it was just such a sad story, because if it wasn't for the 928, he wouldn't have been able to see his father for the last time, which is just, I mean, that it makes me tear up a little bit to actually hear him tell the story, which I'm going to leave a link to down in the description to a YouTube clip of, you know, that actual story, so you guys can go ahead and take a watch yourself. So, but next car though is the Porsche 911 GT1 Strassenversion. Is that what it is? It's a long German word. I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like Strassenversion. And guys, this car, oh my gosh, this car was back in Forza Motorsport 2. It has been so long since this car has been in a Forza game. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot believe it. This car is freaking awesome. The best way that I can describe it is, at least to me anyway, you know, I'm not really sure if this is actually true or not, but playing those old school Forza games, to me, the Strassenversion is basically like the 918 today, or the Carrera back in the early 2000s. It is like, it is Porsche's hypercar. That is just what it was. It was one of Porsche's hypercars, and it's so awesome to see this car returning. Now, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I thought maybe I had some more information. I guess I forgot to look it up. But oh well. Yeah, the Strassenversion, guys, I'm really happy to see that. And then another car that we're getting back from the old school Forza is we're getting the Ferrari 612 Scaglietti. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I really do. I'm not entirely sure if I am or not. But yeah, this car was back in some of the older Forza games. It was one of those ones that I never really felt was like awesome as a Ferrari, because I guess, like, you know, I was always using the F30 or the 458 at the time, which was brand new when I was playing, and I just never really got into the 612 Scaglietti. Although, compared to its successor, I would have the 612 over the successor in a heartbeat, which is the Ferrari FF. Now, the Scaglietti is actually a front-engine 4-seater sports car, just like the Ferrari FF. And I think, you know, I would much rather have, oh my god, okay, we glitched out. What did we do? What did we do? But I would rather have the 612 Scaglietti over the FF. Although, maybe if it was the winter time, I would rather have the FF because, yeah, because of snow. As I'm not sure, is the 612 Scaglietti all-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive? I didn't look that up either. So, but I'd rather have it. I think it looks better than the FF. I've just never been a big fan of the FF. It's just, I don't know. Then we come to the best car out of this whole release, which is the 2015 McLaren P1 GTR. That is right, guys. We are finally getting the McLaren P1 GTR. Hot damn. Which is basically a track-only version of the McLaren P1, putting out a huge increase in power, although I actually don't think it's all that huge. But I mean, it is so freaking awesome. It's extremely lightweight. It is just, it looks freaking gorgeous too. I mean, it looks exactly like a P1 except with a giant ass wing on it. But I mean, come on. Who doesn't love a giant ass wing on a hypercar? I mean, as long as it's not like freaking, I don't know, what do you call it? Rice, yeah, as long as it's not rice. And now, guys, I'm actually kind of mad because now I got to go ahead and edit this out because I think my computer just died that I'm reading off of. And I am just grinding gears trying to, like, my computer turned off. Crap. So anyway, though, I will be right back. You know what I actually just remembered, guys? I actually know the last two cars on this list. Now, the first one is actually a Porsche #1. I don't actually know the rest of it because I still haven't turned on my computer. But it's the #1 Porsche, and it's a Le Mans racer, which we kind of already have it as in the number 19 Porsche, or Porsche for those of you guys in Europe. I know I call it Porsche. That's just how we say it in America. I mean, I'm always going to call it that. There's a lot of debate on it. I know that some people are going to be like, there's no debate, it's Porsche. And yeah, I know. Sometimes I'm going to call it Porsche, sometimes I'm going to call it Porsche. That's just me, guys. That's just me. But it's just basically one of those Le Mans racers. It's the 2017 version, so it's kind of new. I think it's actually been doing pretty well in its racing series right now. Don't really keep up with a whole lot of motorsport. The only ones I do keep up with is surprisingly that one, but I don't have cable anymore, guys. I can't watch it anymore, which kind of sucks. As I do love to watch some racing, except for NASCAR. I don't really like NASCAR, but that's beside the point. That's just a preference. And he's making a left turn. Oh my god, he's making a left turn. And another left turn. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't resist. But finally, the last car on this list is actually the Porsche 911 GT2 for 2018, which is the fastest Porsche 911 that has been made yet. So that is pretty awesome, and of course, it is the box car. So of course, we already knew that this car was going to be in the game, so it's not really new, I guess, and not really sort of like a release. I mean, we kind of already knew it was in there, so yeah. But anyway, though, I think that's where we're going to go and wrap it up for today. If you guys liked the video, go ahead and make sure to hit that like button down below for us, because you guys already know your support is so greatly appreciated. As well, you guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at twitter.com/Garrett413 and Instagram.com/Garrett413. And as well, make sure to hit subscribe for more videos coming out all the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.